All right, guys, welcome back to another video. My name is GameRock UK. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. So what we're going to talk about today, well, we're going to talk about the December PTR announcement that is come out literally today, and we're going to see what is in store for us in this PTR. Now, we're not going to go onto the PTR server. Personally, I'm probably going to wait until the update actually comes out to live before playing it. Just because I want to experience it fresh when it actually drops. But what we're going to talk about in this video is exactly what is included, what they've given us in this PTR, and we'll have a look at the dev blog as well to see what the developers are saying as well. So let's begin. So let's read through it. Greetings, adventurers. Eternum is an ever-evolving world, and as such, we continue our efforts in providing our players with an assortment of ongoing new features, content, and changes. Similar to the activities leading up to our latest major update, we're approaching the release of our next large patch and would like to once again invite you all to participate in the next cycle of our public test realm. Okay. The public test realm is a limited availability service set that will give players an early look at upcoming features. These preview builds are snapshots of upcoming major updates and are not final versions. You may encounter bugs, crashes, missing text, or other issues between our internal testing efforts and your reports. We hope to catch and resolve as many issues as possible before they reach the live service. However, not every bug or feedback piece can or will be actioned on before release. Some changes need to be investigated further and may come as a quick follow-up in a subsequent patch or two. Nonetheless, hundreds of changes have already been made with more to come, and the full release notes will be shared on release day. What this essentially means, guys, is, let me just break this down for you, is Amazon have a tendency to break stuff after patches. What that text basically says is, hey, we might break something with this patch, but we're aware of it. It's kind of like a get out clause. Anyway, let's continue. To help with the feedback process, all newly created characters on these worlds will have the opportunity to instantly level to select level ranges outfitted with the appropriate gear and items. PTR servers will officially open tomorrow, December the 3rd at 10 a.m. PT or 6 p.m. UTC. Servers are limited at the start. There will be one world available in the US East and one world available in Central Europe. When the test period is complete and the main new world game is updated with the previewed content, all worlds will shut down and wiped clean. You will still see the new world PTR application in your Steam library, but they will not be active servers until the next time we announce a test. If you encounter a bug, exploit, or have suggestions to improve a feature of piece of content, we'd love to hear your feedback on our PTR sub forum. You can also utilize our in-game feedback tool. We will do our best to address as much of your feedback as possible before the content update makes its way to our live servers. Your participation will help us to deliver awesome content and updates in the future. During this iteration of the PTR, we look forward to hearing your playtest feedback regarding the following changes. Now this is where it gets exciting. So if you played the PTR before, there's nothing really changing in regard to how the PTR is going to work. It's just a bunch of the new updates going up on there, and they're inviting people to go and test it out and report any issues and stuff like that. So if you played the PTR before, it's working in exactly the same way as it did before. Yeah, that's how. So new limited time content. Here comes the winter stuff. I'm actually pretty hyped with like all the snow, and that picture looks so cool. I don't know where that is though. It looks like, I don't know, like literally could be anywhere. Like that's the problem with New World, is like all the areas have very similar objects, so you can't really take that picture and say, oh yeah, that's in that place, because it's, yeah, I don't know. Is that an ancient bridge or something there? See, looking at that, I think that's Weaver's Fen, but I don't think that is. Anyway, let's continue on. Winter Convergence Festival. The holiday of Winter Convergence Festival, Winter Convergence has arrived in Aeternum, marked by the appearance of increased snowfall and northern lights in the sky. LA Aurora Borealis. God, it's too early to be saying these kind of words. Sorry, guys. This is a this is a time of duality, and dichotomy. Come on, you world! Like, I can't read this early on in the morning. Like, come on, dichotomy as the Yeti. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry. The Winter Wanderer comes to the land. Okay, so there's a Yeti. He's called the Winter Wanderer, and he's come into the land. Okay. While in the settlements, gifts are exchanged to mark the passing of the year. Outside the safety of the walls, there rages a wintry war between the positive forces of winter. Slumber, perseverance, championed by the Winter Wanderer's positive side, and the negative forces of winter, death and stagnation. Are championed by the Winter Wanderer negative side. The player takes on the cause of the Winter Wanderer to collect winter tokens from repeatable events across the island, able to turn them into a holiday shop containing rare and cosmetic items. The Winter Wanderer's positive aspect grows in power with each token collected and turned in. Icy winds and the Winter Wanderer bring with the new armors, weapons, furnishings, skins, consumables, and delightful present-giving emote. All themed off the wonderful Aeternum holiday of Winter Convergence. Awesome, that sounds good. That was good. All right, Winter Villages. The Winter Wanderer has set up 4 villages to facilitate the joy and cheer of Winter Convergence. Visit these villages in Everfall, Monarch's Bluff, Weaver's Fen, and Brightwood to meet the Winter Wanderer and carry out his holiday quest. I did say that looked like Weaver's Fen. I did say that looked like Weaver's Fen. Oh my god. Imagine if that picture is actually Weaver's Fen. I mean, I don't think we'll ever know, but I'm just too good at this. No, I'm not really, but it was just a pure guess. Right, let's go. It's probably not even Weaver's Fen. Like, I'd laugh if like a developer comments on the video. It's like, no, it was actually Everfall. Anyway, let's continue. Winter Convergence Activities. The Convergence Spirit. This celebrate the spirit of season by giving a helping hand in decorating your favorite settlement. The Convergence Spirit is a special town project that allows players to complete special town project quests to upgrade each settlement's tree of light for improved daily rewards. That is cool. That is cool. So, like, if you do a set amount of town boards, like, it gets like better Christmas tree lights or something, or it gets like some tinsel go around it, or it makes a star at the top or something. That is super cool. I like that. That's really cool. That's a really cool thing to have in settlements. I like that. Anyway, lost present recovery. Those dastardly frigid folk are spreading their mischief and stealing presents across Aeternum. Located throughout the world are lost presents to be recovered and turned in for winter tokens at the Winter Village's holiday huts. Okay, so there's lots of like lost presents around the world that you can collect. So it's good if you like exploration and all that sort of stuff. You can go around and you can gather all kinds of cool presents and hand them in for tokens. Gleamite collecting. Bright, glittering, gleaming gleamite meteors of multitude of color fall from the night sky during this time of year. As destructive as they are beautiful. Gleamite showers are a new random dynamic event that occurs at night throughout Aeternum. Keep your eyes and ears open as you search for locations where the showers are most prevalent. Exchange the harvested crystals for winter tokens at the Winter Village holiday huts. Happy hunting. That's cool. That's cool. So there's going to be like random like dynamic events going on. That is really cool. I just hope it doesn't lag the servers, because it sounds like a feature like that could lag the servers. But I hope it all goes well. That looks really good so far. All right, let's move on to the next bit. Ice caves. Ooh. I'm not going to try and guess where that cave is because it's probably a new cave. But that looks really cool. Um, doesn't look like any new mobs though, does it? It looks like the same kind of mobs. Looks like Eden Grove style mobs. Yeah. Okay. Ice caves are appearing all over Eternum due to Winter Warriors' desire for a forever winter. They are snowy and icy caves, and the Yeti use their powers to freeze up and make snowfall. The rest of Eternum will look like these ice caves if the onslaught of the warrior is not stopped. These caves will remain behind after the event as scars on the land, sources of wintry magic that refuse to melt even if the warrior is defeated. Oh, so the ice caves are permanent, is what they're basically saying. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. New content. Hey, new content. That's what we like to see, guys. New content. What's going to bring us in new content? New quests. Woo! In addition to the new quest series offered by the Winter Wanderer for the Convergence Festival, there are also several new side story territory quests offered in Restless Shore and Morningdale. This update also introduces a new quest series associated with housing. After you've completed the main story quest in Crouching Corruption, seek out Architect Giacomo Alatoviti near your starting settlement to begin the quest series. Further quests with Giacomo will be unlocked as you level up and progress your territory standing. Okay. So do I have to go back and do these housing quests? I wonder, because like I've done all the main story quests, so I guess these are brand new quests, aren't they? So I guess I should go and do them when they come out. All right. New quests to do, that's good. I mean, I've still got a bunch of side quests to do anyway, because I'm just lazy at doing side quests. I gotta be honest, guys. I've done the main story quest, but that's about it. I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to side quests, but I will probably do them. All right. New journal categories. New quest categories have been added to the journal for epic weapons and armor quests and for skill progression quests. This update is accompanied by a new map pins for all quest types. Okay, that's good. That's good. New features, expertise, and gypsum system. Based on feedback on the high watermark system and our desire to have a compelling and diverse endgame, we've made some major updates to the endgame. We've added a new resource called gypsum that can be acquired each day by doing a variety of activities. Open world name bosses, expedition bosses, outpost rush, arenas, corrupted breaches, etc. Each activity rewards a different type of gypsum that can be crafted into a gypsum orb. These orbs can then be crafted into gypsum casts of any weapon, armor, or trinket type. Opening a gypsum cast will guarantee an expertise bump and gear of that type. That is so good. That changes endgame completely. Amazing. Okay, let's continue. We've also renamed high watermark to expertise and now display the current expertise level of each slot on your avatar in your inventory so players can easily track their progress. We also show a level up banner every time your expertise level increases. Again, big change. How long have we been asking for like it to show like what your watermark was? We've been asking for that since day one, and fair play to Amazon, they're delivering. Well done. Cool. Lastly, we've added 2 new endgame points of interest where players can challenge themselves with difficult content and try to progress their expertise with level 66 enemies and elite chests. Both Malevolence and in Indigrove and the Imperial Palace North Dynasty Shrine have been up leveled to 66. Okay, now this is where I sort of don't really agree with that. 2 new endgame point of interest. They're not new point of interest. They're the same point of interest as they were before. They've just upped the level difficulty to 66. Unless they're changing how they look. We shall see. But calling them new endgame point of interest is, yeah. Maybe they should have put we've adjusted to endgame point of to point of interest. That might have gone down a little bit better with the new world players. But we shall continue nonetheless. Trade skill aptitude. Want to continue rewarding the efforts you make to craft items for yourself, your friends, or make a buck on the trading post? We've introduced trade skill aptitude. Upon reaching level 200 in a trade skill, the leveling circle will update to show 3 markers equidistant from each other on the circle. I'm sorry if I butchered these words, guys. Earning trade skill XP will begin progressing you again when you reach one of these markers. You will be awarded with a container of useful items that are mostly trade skill relevant, such as craft mods, special ingredients, and even schematics and recipes. Each subsequent marker awards a spectacular container with more rewards than one before. Gaining enough XP to go all the way around the circle will increment the aptitude counter by 1. This counter will keep counting so you can keep track of how many times you've wrapped your progress around the top level. We've also introduced a new type of reward with this system, equipment patterns. Equipment patterns are crafting artifacts that enable you to craft guaranteed gear score 600 items that has a specific appearance. Patterns require a significant amount of powerful crafting resource to create, but guarantee a GS 600 item. Patterns still roll perks, and players have the normal amount of control over their outcome with craft mods and Azoth. Equipment patterns have a small chance to drop from Arcana, weaponsmithing, armoring, and engineering aptitude reward caches. Okay. So that's good. That's good. So equipment patterns are what I'm gauging with equipment patterns. There's a new type of reward, equipment patterns. That has a specific appearance. So I wonder if you can take a piece of gear that you like the look of and use that to keep the appearance, but craft it into a new item. Kind of like a transmog system kind of thing, if you're used to World of Warcraft. Okay. I like that. I think that's good. PvP balance changes. Due to an issue in our initial PvP damage formula that caused lower gear to be more beneficial in damage mitigation, we have updated our formula. We look forward to hearing your feedback on this update. PvP formula update. We adjusted the way armor mitigation is calculated to use enemies' gear score value instead of your average gear score. To adjust for the difference in armor mitigation, we increased the damage low-level players due to higher level players and reduced the damage the high level players due to low level players. They've put due instead of do. I don't think that makes sense. So basically, if you got lower level gear, you will be like buffed a bit. So it's not like such an imbalance. That's kind of what they're getting at here, I think. So that's good. You know, it means balanced PvP. It means someone with lower level GS armor and someone with 600 GS armor. It's not going to be like a one-way street. So that's really good. That's kind of what I'm sensing in that bit there, which is good. It's good. Crit damage application. Crit damage bonuses for masteries on perks are now applied additively instead of multiplicatively. Okay, yeah, you get what I mean. It's on the screen. Read it. On average, this will reduce the extra damage they provide by a small percentage. Buffer windows. A general consistency has to be done across all weapons to adjust the buffering windows for dodges, abilities, and basic attacks. The update buffer window starts when the first frame of the attack that would deal damage, or on the first casting frame in the case of abilities that do not deal damage. And there's also a handy link there to submit your feedback. Okay, and this is just the PTR. So if you've accessed the PTR before, it's pretty easy. Everyone with a copy of New World. I'm not going to go through and read all this. But it's just how to get onto the PTR. Essentially, guys, if you own New World in your Steam library, you will see something underneath called New World PTR, Public Test Realm. You could just download it and play it once it's out, which will be... Go back up to the top. It is going to be today at 10 a.m. PT or 6 p.m. UTC. So by the time you watch this video, it's probably already out. So yeah, once it's out, you could just download it on Steam and you could just play. But bear in mind that your characters don't transfer over or anything. It's literally a totally new world. You create a total brand new character. I'm pretty sure even the characters that you had on the other PTR don't carry over. So it's literally fresh off the bat. You just go in and it's purely for testing. Okay, now let's go on to the dev blog. I'm sorry that I'm rumbling on a bit, guys. I know this video has been going on for over 20 minutes now. We will try and kind of wrap this up quite quickly. We're just going to go through this post and then that'll be it. All right, guys. End game update. So this is purely on the end game. Based on feedback on the high watermark system and our desire to have a compelling and a diverse endgame, we are making some major updates in our December 1.2 patch. Our goal for the endgame is to provide a variety of activities that all provide compelling rewards and interesting challenges. In this article, I'll discuss 3 big changes we'll be making: improving our endgame gear progression, increasing rewards for some endgame activities, and tuning difficulty of endgame content. Expertise and gypsum system. Since New World's launch, we've heard the feedback from our community that the HWM system was not communicated effectively, promotes a high, single, monotonous activity, had too much randomness, and was a bit too grindy. So we are completely revamping the system to address these concerns. This new and improved HWM system is called Expertise. In the new December update, Expertise will govern the highest drops you can get per slot, much like HWM did. But starting in early 2022, it will also govern the effectiveness of your gear. This means if your Warhammer expertise is 520 and you equip a 550 gear score Warhammer, the weapon's effective gear score will be reduced to 520. While we understand to some players this may result in a temporary reduction in power, we believe in the long run this will result in more rewarding progression loop that can't be bypassed by buying gear off the trading post. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about what's happened. So if you've currently bought or got given a level like 600 GS item, and you're wearing a 5, and your current watermark, sorry, is 520, your watermark is going to decrease to 520 for that item. That doesn't mean that that item's now useless. That means that if you continue grinding up the watermark, you can eventually get that item back up to level 600. But it means for you, that item's down to your watermark level. So it means that you can still buy or get given gear from other people, but you have to work on your watermark to get it to its original gear score. So I think that's good, because it means people can't just like buy their way to success, really. They have to do a bit of grinding as well. So I think that's good. I think that's good overall. A major improvement provided by Expertise is that a player's expertise per slot is displayed on the inventory screen, as well as the average expertise of all equipped gear. Additionally, each time a player gets an expertise bump, a level up banner will appear showing their expertise level. Note that the expertise system unlocks at level 60, so this information will not be shown until then. So this is what it's going to look like, guys. So you've got... It will literally... That's so much better. That's what we got. So it still shows your gear score, but it means your average expertise is there. So it means... Say you're level 600 hat, but you're 520. That hat will be 520 GS. Okay? But as you increase that, your hat will increase if it's a higher GS, and it will keep doing that. So it's a good system. It's a good system. I like that. I like that. It's nice and neat as well on the side like that. It's not like an ugly UI to it. It's really good. I like that. Decent. Okay. The second major improvement we made is adding a way for players to control their gear progression. To achieve this, we introduced gypsum. Gypsum is a new resource that is found by doing a variety of activities. Gypsum can be crafted into gypsum orbs, which can then be turned into special caches called gypsum casks. Gypsum casks are gear type specific, and when opened, guarantee a expertise bump for that type of gear, as well as an item of that type. If you really want to increase your bow expertise, you can craft a gypsum bowcast. Players can earn gypsum by doing 7 of different endgame activities. This is really good, guys, because this means that you can, instead of just grinding elite chests and farming the same mob over and over again or whatever, there's a variety of different ways you can get better gear. And it means obsidian gypsums, defeat level 60 plus open world named bosses typically found in elite landmarks. Okay, so maybe you can still just kill the same name bosses over and over again, but there are also other ways to do it as well. Sapphire gypsum. Defeating the final bosses of the Lazarus instrumentally and Garden of Genesis. So that's good. So you can get gems from doing expeditions, which which is really good because a lot of people do expeditions and they don't really get rewards at the end of it. Ruby gypsum found in outpost rush caches. That's good as well. Good for the PvPers. Emerald gypsum found in trade skill aptitude rewards containers. That's good. Good for the crafters. Citrine gypsum found in arena caches. Amethyst gypsum found in breach caches. Topaz gypsum found on hostile creatures level 55 plus, but only after consuming a special attunement potion that can be crafted at a tier 5 camp. Okay. We believe that providing different ways to collect gypsum will allow players to play a variety of content while always finding at least a few activities they love to progress in their gear score. Engaging in these activities for 30 to 60 minutes a day will earn players enough gypsum of that type to craft a gypsum orb, except for Topaz since the attunement potion can only be crafted once a week. After players have earned sufficient gypsum for an orb, they won't earn more for 23 hours. Gypsum orbs can then be crafted into gypsum casks of any weapon, armor, or trinket. Type. Note you can only craft any type of cast once per day. Opening a gypsum cast will guarantee an expertise bump and reward players with a random piece of gear of that type with gear score equal to the new expertise level. We've introduced a new kiln crafting station in all endgame areas that allows players to craft gypsum orbs and various gypsum casts. Note that we've tuned down the general chances of getting an expertise bump to compensate for the guaranteed bumps that were added with gypsum. Elite chest odds were reduced a little, but open world enemies were reduced a lot. But we've increased up the amount your expertise increases with each bump to make gypsum casts and the random bumps feel more valuable. Okay, so what they're doing is the elite chest odds are going to be decreasing. So you're not going to get as good items regularly. But what they're saying is if you do get it, it's going to be quite a bump. Like, it's going to be a good bump. Like, it's going to feel rewarding is what they're trying to say. They don't want it to feel... They don't want people to just go out farming elite chests still. They want people to do the gypsum stuff because they want that to feel rewarding. So you still can farm elite chests, but what they're saying is the odds are like less on that. So you're probably not going to get people aren't going to be as fast leveling up their watermark just farming elite chests now. They've got to do the they're encouraging people to do the gypsum stuff because it's more rewarding. That's kind of what they're saying, which makes sense. To ensure all our end-game activities provide compelling rewards for the effort and risk involved, we've reviewed them and made some adjustments. We will continue to audit our rewards for each activity and make further adjustments as necessary. For this round, we've focused on expeditions. Our goal is that expeditions are super rewarding experiences since they require a time investment to craft an orb and are challenging content. We've made 4 adjustments to make them more rewarding. Each expedition boss will guarantee a random expertise bump. Good job. We fixed all chests in Lazarus Instrumentality and Garden of Genesis, so they have chance to provide an in-game expertise bumps. Good. Added item shards as a guaranteed drop for expedition bosses and as a chance to drop from elite chests. Added guaranteed sapphire gypsum drops for each expedition boss. That's good. It actually means expeditions will now be rewarding, and it means a lot of people will now do more expeditions, hopefully, which is a good thing for the game overall. Good changes. Item shards are a new crafting ingredient that enables players to craft an item with a specific attribute bonus on it while still being able to use a craft mod to guarantee a perk. Item shards are guaranteed to drop from expedition bosses and have a chance to drop from elite chests in expeditions and elite landmarks. And as discussed above, we've added gypsum to a variety of our endgame activities. This should make all activities more rewarding since they will result in gear progression and 1 guaranteed good drop from opening the gypsum cast. We felt that war and invasions were already rewarding enough, and due to their limited availability, wanted to be careful about making them even more rewarding. Arena bosses also guarantee an additional random expertise bump, which along with the citrin gypsum, hopefully make them rewarding activities too. A war and invasion. Yeah, I think war and invasions are probably already awarded enough. I mean, you get like 600 gold every time you go into an invasion or war. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really have any qualms about that. On our low pop server, we're literally always in invasions anyway. So I think if they gave you like a better reward in invasions, it'd just be too easy on lower pop servers. So I can understand that. That's fine. Difficulty adjustments. We've made several adjustments in the endgame difficulty to compensate for some accidental overtuning we did in November patch. We improperly set the several enemies to a difficulty level that was above what we intended. With these changes, we hope to find a middle ground between the two easy endgame content we had pre-November and the overtuned HP sponges we had afterwards. The upcoming December release notes will provide more specifics on those changes. That's really good because we tried to do male Valence elite run and we literally just couldn't do it. Like we literally got to a point where we were just dying. We had 2 full groups and we were just dying. Now you might just think we like weren't that great, but a lot of people have been complaining that like they just overbuffed the enemies in like the elite farms. So hopefully that change is good and people can start doing those areas properly again. But it sounds like Valence is going to get a change anyway because they're upgrading the mobs to level 66 plus, right? So yeah. All right. Remember, level 66 elite landmarks are supposed to be really hard, requiring very optimized gear and consumables. With the changes to expertise, players can progress their gear in a variety of ways before venturing to those endgame areas. We've also modified 2 other elite landmarks to become endgame point of interest. The Male Valance elite point of interest in Eden Groves was up leveled to level 66 content and now has 6 elite chests that can all provide endgame expertise bumps. And the Imperial Palace and North Dynasty Shrine elite landmarks in Eben Scale Reach were also up leveled to level 66 content and 8 elite chests were added. Now there will be an endgame open world area in each of the endgame territories: Eben Scale Reach, Shattered Mountain, Eden Grove, and Reekwater. That's good. That's good. It means people. So even though the elite chest odds have been decreased, there's actually more elite chests to farm per day now. So that's good. It's like, we have decreased the odds on them, but there's actually more chests around now. So, pretty happy with that. I don't think, yeah, I think that's good. Conclusion, we're sorry that the end game experience was not at par with the start of the game, and hope these changes start to remedy that. We're not done yet and will continue to refine, improve, and add to our end game over time. But hopefully these changes will create a better foundation to build off. Everything other than the expertise's effectiveness on gear, which will be released on early 2022, will be available tomorrow to try in our PTR. Please let us know your feedback on the expertise system in the PTR. Hang on a minute. Everything other than the expertise effectiveness on gear, which will be released in early 22. So when the PTR patch notes come out, if you have a 600 GS item, it's going to be 600 GS. What they're saying is, it decreases. I think what they're saying is that's actually not going to come in until early 2022. So when we mentioned before about like if you had a 600 GS item, but your gear score 520, it would go down to 520. I don't think that system's going to come in until a bit later. I think that's what they mean by expertise effectiveness. But if you guys know any different, let me know in the comments. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry it's been a long video, 35 minutes. I'm sorry you had to sit there listening to me babble on. I think overall this is a good update though. I'm liking to see. Obviously, we won't know the finer details until nearer the time when the patch notes are released. But this is definitely a really good update. It's a step in the right direction for New World, and overall, I think I'm pleased with it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this. These notes in the comments below. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Goodbye.